Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. See, in Vedanta, when we speak about the nature of the self, we use three words: Sat, Chit, Ananda. I'm sure all of you must have heard these words. By Sat we mean existence, and by Chit we mean consciousness, and by Ananda we indicate the bliss nature of the self. These are well known. Usually when we thus describe the nature of the self as Sat, Chit and Ananda, that we are existing is evident. And therefore we can comprehend, yes, I am of the nature of existence. No problem, no difficulty. And thus, even when the light goes off, meaning current goes off, light is not there, and I can't see myself, still I know I am there. It's not like when the light is there, then I see an object and then I say the object is there and therefore it is there. But I have an inherent awareness of myself. And therefore, it is very easy to understand that the self is existing and existence, no issues about it. Also, when we think of the self being consciousness, there also we don't have any problem. Yeah, I'm conscious, I'm aware, I can see things. And if I know things, that means there is some consciousness within me, and then somebody touches me, I'm conscious. Therefore, that the self is of the nature of consciousness also we don't have much trouble appreciating. But when they say that the self is of the nature of happiness, we think there's something missing. Yeah? Yeah, easy to say, I'm of the nature of happiness because the scriptures say and the gurus say, but that's not the way to go about studying Vedanta, right? The path of Vedanta is the route of conviction. Unless we are sure, we cannot be convinced. And unless we think carefully, we can't be sure. And thinking is something which is natural to us, even though thinking carefully is not so easy for us. So today, in these probably 20 minutes, 25 minutes, shall we think about how we are of the nature of happiness? Think, okay? Not that we have to experience that, but at least can we make an effort to analyze that? Do you think it's worth it, or should I change the topic? Okay, so let's try. So how do we go about this? That we become happy eating something or meeting somebody or going to sleep is a phenomenon that we all know. So let's take from that. Meaning what I'm saying is that we experience happiness, so let us inquire into how we become happy. Then probably we'll get some clue where happiness is. Because finally we want to find out where the source of happiness is, right? So let's start from there. So you think of something very easy. We can think meeting somebody or going somewhere or eating something. We become happy. Simple example. Let's take. So there are two things. I become only a statement. I become happy. Some example we should give. No? I become happy enjoying dash. Let's say something, and that could be. It could be a movie. It could be a eatable. It could be hearing some music. It could be so many things. So there's an object, and there is me, the subject. The subject and the object comes together, and then we experience happiness. That's all. So can we say, to start with, the meeting of the subject and the object creates happiness. It could create sorrow also, but now we are talking about happiness. Therefore, we look into that. So can we say that there are three things now: subject, object, result, happiness? Yeah? Is that okay? So subject meets object, and there arises happiness. So subject is there, object is there, they have met, happiness comes. Without the subject meeting the object, there is no happiness. So subject has met object, there is happiness. Now the question is, where did the happiness come from? There are only two things now: the object, the subject. Now, it is natural to think, before I met the object, I was not happy. Correct? It is only after I met the object I became happy. Therefore, happiness must be where? Object. It's normal, no? It's nothing. And actually, to become happy only I went to the object. So, happiness is the object. Logic, simple, clarified, full stop. So class over, we can get up and go. And you knew that before itself. So why did Swamiji you come here? But it is not so easy. Because if that happiness was there in the object, then everybody should get that happiness there. Correct? What's your favorite color? We ask somebody. They say that my favorite color is beige. And I have no idea what is beige. I know only red, orange, yellow, pink. The person says beige. Okay, beige. Some person says, I like sky blue. I understand what sky blue you like. Some person says, I like peacock green. Then you give for that person who likes peacock green dress. The person becomes so happy. Swamiji gave me a gift of peacock green salwar kameez. Oh, I'm so happy, so happy. The other person, her friend is there, and her further friend likes beige, and I have no idea what's beige. Suppose I give that person that peacock color, that's the color which that person hates, then happiness comes there. It doesn't come, is it not? So if happiness was there in the object, that peacock blue or peacock green? Peacock green. Peacock green. I'm sorry. That peacock green dress should have given happiness to the other person also, if happiness was there in that peacock green color. Right? Just take simple example. You don't have to go so far. Do they give here tea or coffee? Both they give. ठीक है. Coffee on special request. ठीक है. If everybody were to find happiness in coffee, And only if coffee was kept here, I can tell you that at least 60% of you would have a smirking face when you had come here. Well, all of you are smiling. I'm sure you got tea as well as coffee on special request. That happiness is not there in the tea or coffee is very clear, because not everybody gets happiness in tea or everybody gets happiness in coffee. Correct? So even though superficially it looks like that when I meet the object I get happiness and therefore happiness there in the object, when I inquire I find that happiness is not intrinsic in the object. I use the word intrinsic. Yes, there is an experience of happiness. There is no question about it. And only after I met the object, I became happy. But yet logic says that happiness is not intrinsic in the object. Intrinsic means essential property. Like how sweetness is intrinsic to sugar. Right? So there is some problem there. Experience of happiness is there, but happiness is not there in that peacock blue, in that coffee, in that tea. Also, one more reason also when we start thinking, forget about the other person. Even for me, that object doesn't give me happiness always. Suppose you're a lover of sweets, which I think most of us are. Lover of sweets. Right? We find that happiness which is coming from the sweet is not always there. For example, you like, one example we should find. Rasgulla. I'm sure all of you know that, right? That Bengali sweet Rasgulla. But suppose before eat Rasgulla you love. Suppose they ask you a question, do you love chocolate or do you love Rasgulla? So, I love Rasgulla the most. And suppose by mistake you eat a chocolate. Or you drink tea or coffee, a little more sugar. And then afterwards you put that Rasgulla in your mouth, you don't feel that happy. Then you ask for something spicy. Because you want to break the taste of that sweet which has gone before. Only then you can enjoy Rasgulla properly. Right? Also, suppose I know you love Rasgulla, so I call you, Amma, please come. Please sit. I have a box of Rasgullas. I got a bottle of Rasgullas. And then I start opening and your eyes widen. Oh, only for me? Yeah, for you. For me alone? Yeah. Sit down. I give you. Swamiji, you have a katori? Yeah, I have a katori. I've got a spoon, everything. And then put a lot of that juice and then I put that Rasgulla. And then I ask you love the juice or Rasgulla? Both. You start eating. One. Wow. When you're eating that one Rasgulla, you're not looking at anybody, including me. You're eating. Now second. One more you love? Oh yes, one. 3. Okay. 4. Can I have later? No. I can't assure you later will be there because other people are going to come and I will have to. You say, okay, it's worth having it. So 4, 5, 6. Then afterwards, oh God. The Rasgulla has become pain now. Is it not? No, I tell you, no, you got to have it. Okay, Guru telling, what can I do? Guru has told Rasgulla you have. So you're having Rasgulla. Now 10, 12, then 15. The 16th one, the Rasgulla will fall on the Guru's head only. Is it not? If Rasgulla was really of the source of happiness, the more Rasgullas you had, your happiness should have increased. Yes, when I met Rasgulla, I became happy. No doubt about it. But to say that Rasgulla is of the nature of happiness, there is a problem. There are usually three kinds of happiness. Those of you who have studied some Vedanta would know that, or would remember if I say, or those of you who do not know will know it now. Three kinds of happiness. One is called Priya. Priya. The next is called Moda. Third is called as Pramoda. Priya. Can we all say that together? Priya, Moda, Pramoda. Not difficult, right? Now, they have some definitions, which I should also say. And if you analyze that definition, you will get the answer to the question, where is the happiness? That's why I'm bringing these three terms now. So, would you like to write down the definition? Should I say the definition in German? I can say that in either English or Sanskrit, but I will say it in Sanskrit and translate for you in English. It's a very simple thing. Priya is Ishta Darshana Janya. Janya. Like Janam. Janam is same as Janya only. If you want, you don't. If you like prefer the word Janam, you should write Ishta Darshana Janma. That Janma only has become Janam in Hindi. Or Janya. Okay, let me use that word. So can we say that line again? Ishta Darshana Janya. Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of it? Janya is got. When do you get that Priya kind of sukha? Darshana means what? See, to see. And Ishta is what? What you like. What you prefer. So Ishta Darshana Janya means what? When, not get, when you see. Darshana word is very clear, right? So what is Ishta? Ishta is that joy, that pleasure, that happiness which accrues to you, which comes to you when you see the object of your like. When I say object, it doesn't necessarily mean some coffee, tea, some rasgulla. Even the person whom you like. Your son has gone to study abroad and he is coming after 2 years. And what the joy is there, right? Not that you're going to put him in your mouth. Ishta Darshana Janya. Okay, that is Priya. Now, let us go to the second type of sukha. When that object that you like comes to your hand, meaning you come to have it. Then the joy is little more, correct? Joy is little more. So that rasgulla, which was there in that bottle in Swamiji's room, when it has fallen into a katori and that liquid is submerged or is submersing that rasgulla and the rasgulla is floating, does it float or does it go inside? Float, I think. Then that comes into your hand. Then the joy is little more than when you saw it. The eye, you can see in the eyes also. The eye when it saw the rasgulla was wide, now wider. Therefore, Moda, now you construct the definition. I'll just give you one word for in hand. Okay? That is Labha. Ishta Labha Janya. That's all. So the definition of Moda is what? Ishta Labha Janya. What does it mean? When you get what you like. Okay. And what is pramoda? Pramoda is higher to moda. That is why pra is added there, is it not? It's higher. Pra means that higher. That extent of higher. And that is when you put the gulab jamun in your mouth. And what is experience in Sanskrit? Somebody said some. No, what is experience in Sanskrit? What would you say? Anubhava. So how would you make the definition of pramoda? Ishta anubhava janya. So I have now 28 Sanskrit scholars in front of me. So you have now 3 experiences of joy in the order of their depth, or in the order, the ascending order of their strength. Yeah. First is what? Priya, Moda, Pramoda. And what are the definitions? Ishta, Darshana, Janya, Ishta, Prapti, Labha, Janya, Ishta, Anubhava, Janya. So 3 kinds, in this you should put all kinds of your joy. All kinds of happiness that you have will come in one of these categories. Whether it's a relationship or whether it is an object, whatever it may be, all of them, all joys that you have in life are only these 3 types. We are analyzing where happiness comes from, and this happiness is of 3 types. Now you look at your definitions and you tell me, can you get a clue what causes happiness? Look at that definition. Ishta, Darshana, Janya is Priya, one kind of happiness. Ishta, Labha, Janya is one kind of happiness. Ishta, Anubhava, Janya is one kind of happiness. But can you get a clue from there where the happiness comes from? No, you see there's a word Ishta is there. Ishta means what? What you like. Therefore, in order to get happiness from the object, what is most important is that you should like it. Are you getting the movement of thought? First you thought happiness was there in the object. Now when you look at the definitions, it becomes very clear that happiness is not intrinsic to the object. Why? Because unless you like the object, happiness you will not get from that. Correct? So the prerequisite for happiness is your like. That is why we say happiness is a subjective phenomena. Okay. Now, when I say happiness is a subjective phenomena, now happiness has moved from the object to yourself. So the cause for happiness is no more the object. The cause for happiness is you are investing your like for the object. And therefore, when the like becomes dislike, it happens, is it not? You like somebody, your friend, but then you come to know that this person keeps on speaking at the back of you. And keeps on reviling you, keeps on creating issues for you, difficulties for you. Then so much of love that you have becomes so much of hate also. And then when it becomes hate, meeting the person becomes not source of joy, but source of sorrow. Therefore, happiness is a subjective phenomena. All right, when you say subjective phenomena, then again, it is worth analyzing little more. Swamiji, how much are you going to analyze? You please tell me. Little more we'll analyze. This is Vedanta, okay? That's why I asked you in the beginning itself, do you want to change the topic? So, subjective phenomena means mind is involved. Like means mind is involved. So when I say like means mind is involved, then that means what? That mind is responsible for that happiness, which is clear, but then this gives a route, a path for us to little more investigate. How does coffee give happiness? Let's think about that. I love coffee. That's the first point. Otherwise, I cannot get happiness from the coffee, because the definitions show that Ishta is required there, that I must love, I must like is there. Yes, that is true. But how do I get happiness from coffee? If we can little analyze that, let's see if we can come to the source of happiness. How many of you like coffee here? Do you have a specific time you take coffee? Yeah? Bed coffee? No. Bad habit, Swamiji, bad habit. Okay. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock? Oh, yeah, 4 o'clock coffee. Then you think how that coffee comes. Say working. Okay? In front of your computer, typing, looking at this typing, running phone calls, all those things you are doing. In between getting up and doing other work also. 3:45. Coffee. Is it not? Coffee. But you're busy. Okay, you need to finish this. Then you go fast. And as you go typing, you know, all the spelling mistakes come. And then spell checker. Coffee. Then coffee. It goes on. But you want to complete that. You like, at the time phone call comes, and you pick up coffee. You can't tell the person coffee. Yes, I will do. Certainly, it's getting done. Yeah, coffee. Michael, coffee. Yes, it will be done. In a few minutes. I'll put the phone down. Coffee. 3:55. It's time for coffee. Still you continue, because the coffee has to come at 4 o'clock. Scenario is office. Home means how do you wear? You just go, you make your coffee and you drink. But here is office, 4 o'clock they will bring. And then you keep on looking at the door coming on. Exactly 4 o'clock the person comes and the aroma. Wow. And then you see him. Ishta, Darshana, Janya. And the other person thinks you are looking at him and smiling. No. Ishta, Darshana, Janya. But he will come in line only. He starts from there. The peon gets the first coffee. And slowly it comes. And then you're coffee. Now, if you're made to dance, you will really dance well, so well. All rock and roll will start if you are allowed to exactly dance according to what the mind tells you. And then it comes to your hand. And what happens to that coffee? The moment you saw him, that coffee, little bit is in control. And then when it came into your hand, that coffee, little became quieter. And then when you allowed that Devamruta, the nectar of the gods, and it's hot, you can't drink like that. And slowly you blow a little bit, And then you see the waves happening in the coffee. And with that waves, the smell, the fragrance also comes. And then it enters your nose. There it goes, coffee. By the way, I don't drink coffee, okay? The mind becomes quiet. Careful. What did I say last line? The mind becomes quiet. How much happiness of coffee you will get? That same 4 o'clock coffee, suppose I give you at 3 o'clock, you won't become so happy. Why? You require so much of agitation to become happy, first of all. Did you see that? If you see your, okay, let me not say, if your husband sees you daily, he won't become happy. When now you go back, you'll be so happy. Yes or no? Joys also requires separations. See? Therefore, the amount of happiness that you will get is directly proportional to the sorrow that you can generate or the agitation that you can create. So if the agitation is more means what? The agitation for getting the object is more, then the happiness the object that will create will also be more. Yes. Happiness is a subjective phenomena. And the amount of happiness that an object can give you is directly proportional to the agitations it can generate in you prior. So what is happening when we get happiness from that object, Priya, Moda, Pramoda? So when that Pramoda happens, what happens? The agitation quietens down and the mind becomes still. When the mind becomes still, at that very moment of enjoying that object, there is no thought. There is less thought. There are minimal thoughts. You are in the state of quietude. So, when the mind is not there, you are getting happiness. You said happiness is a subjective mental phenomena, is it not? Because Ishta is there. Because your like is there. And because there is like, it indicated that mind is involved. But at the moment of getting happiness, mind is not there. कहाँ से आ गया अभी happiness? First you thought it was the object. Then you thought it was the mind. But when you started actually getting happiness, mind is not there. Where is happiness coming from? It is not there in the object, we already found out. Now mind is also not there. Are you getting the issue? So happiness is not there in the mind also. And when the mind is not there, you are getting happiness. Happiness is not in the object. Happiness is not in the mind. So where is happiness coming from? You. Because you alone are left now. Therefore, happiness comes when you are unveiled. The mind is availing. Self unveiled is equal to happiness. All right. So happiness is equal to what? happiness is equal to self. When you are there, you become happy. Now you have to decide for yourself whether you want to create agitations and become happy. There are some people, they have some eczema or something like that. Not even eczema is required. A mosquito. Here there are some one mosquito is there, one small mosquito is there. That is an interesting mosquito. It's not a big mosquito. What is so interesting, Swami? It's a big mosquito, small mosquito. The small mosquito is interesting because when it bites you, you won't know. So, after it bites you, it will leave a little, well, it is little, the reddish kind of thing. And you itch that, you will feel very happy. No, why I'm saying like that is that all the while we are doing this only. Keep on itching the mind. Create more and more agitation. Itching. And then put coffee. And then the mind goes happy. Hey, what is all foolishness we are doing? All the while. Someone chooses coffee, someone chooses tea, someone chooses Coke, someone chooses Pepsi. What is happening to all of us, mad people? Isn't that? Sheer madness. Instead of touching your nose this way, you're touching it this way. Self you are. Why can't you become happy yourself? No. What should I do? Keep itch the mind. Coffee. Itch. Become super agitated. And then put some coffee. Quieten. Atman is there. Self is there. Happy. This is utter nonsense. And therefore, to attain happiness, if you develop the knack of the self-vision, then you don't have to search for happiness. The greatest illusion is happiness is outside. The lesser illusion is happiness is because of the mind. The truth is you are happiness. Therefore, self is of the nature of Sat Chit Ananda. Clear? What should I repeat? The greatest illusion is the object has happiness. The lesser illusion is the mind is responsible for happiness. The truth is the self is happiness. So happiness is equal to self unveiled. Don't forget it. I'm not saying don't get happiness from object. Don't imagine happiness is outside. And please understand, every time the object gives happiness, you have irritated yourself sufficiently to get happiness. Is it worth it? An eczema, you keep on scratching, it'll get infected. Poor body, poor mind, why do you trouble it? Keep on agitating it to become happy. Is it the right thing to do to the mind? It's an instrument that you have. You must use it so profitably. The search for happiness is an eczema of the mind. Is an eczema of the mind. Be careful. Don't search for happiness. If happiness comes from outside, accept it. That is how you train the mind. It is coming that way. But don't run behind that. Be free. Know thyself and be ever blissful. Okay. That's sufficient for the day. Thank you. And thankful to all of you also. Because of you, I could think on this topic. So, what is the takeaway from today's session? Happiness is neither outside nor within. Happiness is you. Outside is the object, within means in the mind. But you are not within. You are you. Can I say I am within? No, I am me. Outside is outside, within is within, but I am me. I am me. I am not within me. Mind is within me, yes. Mind is within me, but I am me. ठीक है. Any doubts you have? Yeah, ask your doubt. What is your doubt you have?
If going by this, I understood the particular part of it. It just makes me wonder if I'm the happiness. It's not on the object and it's conditioned on mind. Is that mean in practical part of it, I should wait? Like if happiness comes from object, I should just accept it, but I should not go after it.
That's what's a need.
Yeah, that was. Is that mean if assume I like to read poems or something, storybooks, I should not go crave by like that, or like if I get the object, I should enjoy it, but I actively should not go and pursue it?
Once you understand the mechanism of happiness, you have the freedom to do what you want. You can decide, no, mind, no. This is not the time to read novels. Shut up. You're telling there's happiness in that movie? No. You're a liar. I'll tell you the truth. It's not there. So you decide what to do with the mind, because mind is an instrument for you. You have the freedom to use the mind. Now, we don't have freedom because we are running behind happiness, and we have created the particular mechanisms by which the mind has to be quietened to become happy. But once you know there is no happiness outside, there is no happiness in the mind, I am of the nature of happiness, then you have the freedom to use the mind. Instead of being dictated. It's not that after knowing this, you don't eat rasgulla. Or somebody gives rasgulla, you don't say, what is there? Happiness is not there in rasgulla. I am happiness. And as you say, you look so dukhi. It's not that. It's knowledge. Knowledge liberates. Knowledge liberates and helps you decondition yourself. Yes, you will, when you put rasgulla in your mouth, you will like rasgulla because you have trained the mind for rasgulla. But you know that it is not there. Actually, happiness is not there. And once this becomes so clear, the craving for everything will slowly end. And you will become more and more capable, efficient, wise, loving, kind. Because all the while we spoil our relationships by begging for happiness. Is it not? Then you become a giver of happiness. Once you become a beggar, once you stop being a beggar of happiness, you become a giver of happiness. Slaves can never be givers. Masters can be givers. No? So this understanding frees you. Then you effectively use your body, your mind, your intellect. And whenever you get happiness from the object, you know, what happened really? Mind became quiet and I was left to myself. I became happy. Not I became happy, I am happy. During the experience of happiness, it is not I became happy. I am happiness. But afterwards, when you interpret it, you say I became happy. Because mind has come back. And the mind says, I became happy. You getting the answer? Shall we conclude? Oh. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.